Alright guys, here we go. Another science video. Now this one though, I'm gonna try and back up a little bit. Try to focus the science a little bit. I'm not planning on having a huge video with a big ramble or anything like that. But I do have a few things that I have set for goals here. Right now what I'm doing is I'm hitting out the moose territory. So for the science that we've been doing recently, I sort of got derailed a bit, and I think a lot of overthinking started to come into effect. But I'm backing up because it gets you know, it's kind of getting all over the place here now. And the truth of the matter is, that harvest screen of the bullet cam is probably simpler than we're thinking, and without more information, I'm just going to keep it in the simplest form, because if you start trying to get it more complicated, it doesn't really solve much. So we're just going to do what we can with the information we have. I did message the community manager of the developers, just see if they give us any kind of more information on some of how the damage is applied. But I haven't heard back. I'm not too sure I'm going to hear back, because, you know, they might not want to put that information out there. Maybe they don't even really know. I don't know. But anyways, I'll keep you guys updated with what I know. But yeah. Ooh, look at that stutter. That was not recording. That was the game. I've been hearing reports of frame drops and stutters and like random things happening. I haven't seen them until now. That one was a big one though. That was not normal. Okay. So I'm heading to the parking right now. We're going to go after moose. So just to try and simplify things, I'm going to be using moose primarily for this science. And what it is the main goal is to try to figure out how much damage an organ can take. So to keep it simple, I'm looking at the moose lung. That's it. So if I figure out the moose lung, then we can start figuring out other animals. But what happened is, as I tried to figure that out in the past, a few of us tried to figure it out in the past, we ran into a dead end, and I sort of revived the whole thing, and then it got a little out of hand with everybody analyzing the line graph and going a little crazy. But yeah, so I'm going to bring it back to the simple question. How many hit points does it take to take down a single moose lung? Now, here's the big thing. We don't know their hit points. We don't even know if the bar fills from left to right like a hit bar. It's just sort of logically assumed, because it goes from left to right because the penetration fills up first in the cavity. So it looks like it fills from left to right, but when we move the little line graph across, of course, it doesn't build up. So for all we know, it's not filling up. But again, I got to bring it back. The only thing we can do is, well, the thing that I'm going to do, and I think is the most reasonable thing to do, is just to look at that bullet cam stuff in the simplest form, because in all honesty, well, I'm always honest on the channel, but in reality or whatever, the developers probably do have it just in that little simplest form. So I like giving the developers a lot of credit for complicated stuff too, but I think maybe we're giving the developers too much credit in how complicated they made the system. I don't think it's as complicated as we're making it sound. But we are missing a piece, which is what's making it difficult. So look at a little sunshine Jeep out here. So what I'm doing, yeah, we're going for moose. And I'm just going to look at the very basics here. Just to see. Because in this one example I'm going to do, it's either going to show the math is, there's something off in the math, or the math is going to work. Either or, I'm going to have an example on the screen, hopefully. And I'll just be able to sort of show where we're stuck. I know I've sort of gone through it before, but since it's been revived a little bit, I want to see. Regardless if the math works or not, it's going to bring a little bit of a discussion here on this. So what we're going to be using is, what do we have here? No, we don't need the 7 mil. we're going to be doing the shot with the 223. So the 223 is the scientist's best friend when trying to test this damage stuff because it has minimal cavity damage, but enough penetration damage that you can measure stuff. So we're a big fan of the 223. And the shot I want to take is actually, I know I'm trying to get one lung figured out, but to figure out the one lung or to show the problem, like the damage it takes, I need the bullet to be in both. So the preferred shot here is actually the 223 to go through both lungs and not take out either one of them. That's the preference because I don't want the bars to fill up, because if the bars fill up, we lose information because we can't see what happens after the bar fills up. So we're going to take that, and then we'll, since the SPS is the new one, we'll follow up with it and make sure it falls down. It's quite possible I take out a lung with the 223. I know some people will be like, what? You're going to hit the moose with the 223 and take it out? Well, yes. I'm not going to be trying to, but it is quite possible the single shot from the 223 broadside is going to take down the moose eventually, like when it bleeds out, like it's going to take out the lung. But if I'm far enough away, it might not. So I know it's kind of silly, but like I'm not trying to take out the lung. And it's kind of ironic because I'll probably end up, I might end up taking out the lung even though I'm not trying. And when you try to do it with the 223, it doesn't work. But when you're not trying, it'll probably work. But that is what we're doing. Well, I want a broadside, and then we'll just take a look at that. So the length of the video depends on how quickly I can get one of these moose. I see them out there now. I need one I can identify. One star young. I remember these guys well. They've been hunted over and over and over again. They never really get old anymore. Because I use them for testing so much. Not so much these days, but they're kind of where I left off with them. But I can use the cow. Is it just the two? Oh no, here's the rest. Oh, see, I took both bulls out at the same time. So I can't really use those guys because I can't tell them apart. Maybe I should get a better choice here. Well, we got an adult female. If it's the only cow there, we can just use her. I don't want to get that close, but I wanna figure out if there's more there. Well, we got the bear calling. Definitely not going to test a bear. Oh, here we go. Mature female, broadside. That's not bad. Right there. Hopefully she stays right there. We're going to use the chair. Oh yeah, of course she's moving. Wait, it is a cow, right? Yeah. All right. This is going to be a wonky though, because I don't want to do the shot on the angle, like when she's tilted down like that. I got height on her. Maybe I don't want to sit in the chair for this. Well, that would probably do it, though. It took her out. Darn you, 223, and your overpoweredness. Yeah. The little Steyr Scout and I have had a long history with taking down every animal in the game except for the Cape Buffalo. I think it was Toothless. Toothless took one down with the 223. At least I think it was him. I gave up on it. But every other animal I've taken down one shot with a 223. Cape Buffalo just looked too painful to do it. But I have seen the screenshot. It can be done. So I was too close. Look at that. I knew it was going to happen. Because if you're taking this little scout out, moose hunting, you'll try like a shot and it won't work. The math will still probably be okay. Well, I don't really want to call it math. Anyways, the observation will probably still be okay because the little 223 round couldn't possibly give too much overkill on the lung. So there can't be that much information lost, I don't think. from this shot, so it'll still work, but I was kind of hoping it didn't take her down in the one shot. Oh well, I'll have to do a farther shot. I'll have to go back to 300 meters. Yeah, just so you know, the Scout's more powerful than you might think. It's fun to use just because it's very challenging because shot placement is so important with it. It's really good to practice your shots with. Where'd she go? She behind? I think she's laying down there behind. Like I could try it again. No, because I'm closer now. Okay. I mean, I could try and shoot through the shoulder or something to slow it down, but I'd probably miss. What do we got up here? I still have to take these guys. Like, I still have to get a lot of these guys with a shotgun. I guess I didn't bring it. Get out of here, cows and moose, bulls. There's some geese. There's that bear that I have a long history with. So I still remember coming up here for the first time. You do a little story, and you're down here in this nice little area, and then eventually it sends you up through between the mountains. And you come out here, and there's moose down here you see for the first time, and it's exciting. And then I went up into the marsh right where I am. And I think it's this guy. Yeah, right where I am, like here and here in the marsh, and it was getting dark, and, you know, it was like the first week of the game. And I had that bear walking there, and it was atmospheric and spooky because I didn't know what the bears do in the game yet. So I do remember that bear. He's got some history because I couldn't get him either because he was so hard to. Because we didn't know how to track bears or sneak up on bears or anything at the time. Didn't realize how skittish they were. Okay, so let's take a look here. She's still kind of moving, but she's happy to be helping out science. Okay, let's pick her up. Take a look. Oh no! It didn't get to the other log. Oh, well it did. This is the trouble with science. So I'm not going to be able to do the shot where I don't take the first lung out with a 223. I need a weaker gun! The 22 can't be used. This has got no information for me. I can't use this. This is too much of a sliver in the left lung to make use of it. Arrgh. Well, the bullet stayed in. Maybe we can do something with this. I didn't want to make this complicated, though. So I wanted a good example. I thought this would travel further into that lung. Anyways. What I'm trying to figure out is how much, like, joules fill up the little bar. And the first lung's easy to figure out for the most part. Like, this one we could figure out. Because we just have to subtract the joules from the flesh, the joules from the bone, the joules from the left lung, and then the remaining energy is what's in here. So that's how you do that. Because all the joules are accounted for, both pen and cavity are accounted for here, and they're all accounted for down here. So remember, keeping it simple. So let me just get that number. So I'll pause the recording. I know I've been doing this on stream, but since I'm recording, I decided to record so I can pause this. Let me just calculate the joules here, just so we have like a point of reference. Actually, you know, this is a good example now that I've been looking at it a bit longer. So of course, what I was saying about the calculation, so I've already done the calculation, but yeah, it's not actually that difficult to do, of course, because all you're doing is removing like this steep part joules away, and you're removing the bottom part of the joules, and then you're just keeping this line, which is simply just the difference right here to here. And the number is 620. So this is actually a really good example, which I did kind of by accident here. And the reason why it's a good example is typically when you make this shot, and you like overkill on the lung. Actually, no. Yeah, see, now I'm overthinking it again. Darn it, no, because we do... No, we don't lose any information. Okay, hold on. Now I gotta think about this more. Because, so we've overkilled the right lung. We don't know by how much. But all the joules are accounted for. But they can't all be accounted for because extra went into the lung that is not shown. But this is going to be the joules that were... okay. So there is information lost. Darn it. Okay, so if we take this just on the basics, 620 joules of both penetration and cavity damage were placed into the lung, because that's what the remaining energy is. So 620 joules is in here. But we don't know what the stopping, like the full part is. So we've done 600 joules, but we have information loss because it would have gone over this bar, and the bar can't show it. But the line graph still shows the overkill on the lung, but it doesn't show how much is overkill on the lung. So we do. So the only thing we can take away from this, if you guys are following, is that the right lung on the moose is less than 620 joules. Now here's the problem. I've done this math before, and I've gotten different numbers from this, but it's not precise. See, I need it not to fill up the bar so we don't lose information on where this ends. It's the overkill that causes the problem. So typically you would use the left lung, which is what I was trying to do, because the left lung gives you a comparison, because it's of course the same as the right lung, and then you have another comparison in the same shot. But we can't use it. The sliver's too small. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to sort that out. But just if we're curious here, when did it hit that lung? Like, what's that little sliver worth? It's worth 30 joules. So you'd have to take that little 30 joule sliver and like multiply it like 20 times. So you're still going to actually land around 600 joules. So I mean, maybe we just overkilled by 20 joules or so, and it's 600, but it's not very precise. So what we'll do is I will try it again. Should we go? The problem is I want to use the 223 because of the slim cavity damage. But I can use the 243. It's got more cavity damage though, but it will still... Darn. I don't know a caliber to use that will go into both lungs and not knock out this one. Maybe an upper lung shot? I don't know if I'm that precise. Ooh. Well, all we can do is try it. Okay, and these guys are going to be my test moose, I think. Because look at how nice this science setup is now. So they're right here, drink zones out in the open, fast travel campsite right here for changing the time. And even after you change the time, you can teleport up here. And then hopefully that's far enough away that they're outside of render. And you can get your equipment right here. Oh man, that's actually perfect for doing these science things. I gotta figure out the next shot though. I really didn't want to knock out that first lung. I don't know if I don't know there's a rifle that can do that if the 223 didn't do it. Like the 30-30? I don't think the 30-30 makes it to the next lung very well either. And it would probably take out that. Alright. So much for my short video. Here we go. A long video time. Alright, 30-30 maybe? Will it make it to the next lung? The 30-30 is not very accurate though. So I don't know if I can do the upper shot. Alright, let's try. Keep saving the scope on them. I like it to take the scope off. It's just kind of an OCD thing, but oh well. I usually remove them. Whatever. 30-30 time. Yeah, this is nice because the need zones are right here too, so it doesn't matter how much pressure you put on either zone. The moose are always going to be at one of these spots. But hopefully you can see what I'm doing now. So any kind of science, I know the science guys are going again here to try and figure out a bunch. But right now, my focus is just on how many joules it takes to knock out a moose lung. That's it. I only want information. Well, all information is good. But the information I'm focusing on is anything that helps me figure out that. Now, if you do figure it out, or you get a number, remember it has to be repeatable. If you give me a number, I'm going to be testing it to see if it works. Now, remember the problem we have is, I didn't really talk about in the last one. Hold on. We got a nice broadside on this guy. 120. Stay there. Oh, he's moving. Turn it. Gonna keep moving this way with them. Maybe too close again. I'm gonna try the upper lung to try and make it not be in the lung as long. But it is the 30-30 we're dealing with. He's coming at me. You bugger. Get out of here. You friggin' doorknobs. Look, this guy's looking better though than that guy. You gotta be kidding me. Alright, we gotta wait till they lose interest. Okay, the cow's moving. Stop like that. I'll take it. Cooperate. Here, upper lung. I'm gonna switch because I have no idea. No blood spot to see. I hope it got into both lungs. I think she's going down. She is going down. So, there's another one. I remember a time when people were like, 30-30 can't take out moose. And then I made a fun video about it. And we were taking them out, and then people were like, it's easy taking a moose out with 30-30. But it wasn't easy for everybody. And it wasn't really easy for me either. But I remember it being like one of the first things I did, because I love the 30-30. And so I'm like, that's one of the first science things I did. And like day 2 or whatever, when the story I was telling you about coming up in the marsh there and the bear. I was seeing a moose cow or whatever, and I had iron sights. I took it out in one shot, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then people were saying, you can't take out the moose with a 30-30. And I'm like, I just did on like day 2 with iron sights. But, and the science began. And then I think they, NRG promoted that video on their Facebook page or something. That was kind of cool. When I was starting to do all the AI thumbnails and stuff. And I think it was that one. Yeah, I think I posted it. And it was back when the AI was still bad, but the AI, of course, mostly is still bad most places. And it still is even on the fancy stuff. But it was really rough back then, and I remember posting the thumbnail, and the moose has like an extra leg, like a fifth leg. But it's the thing where like your eyes play tricks on you. You'll see there's 5 legs, but you still only register there's 4. So I didn't even notice it till like got posted and shared, and I don't even think NRG noticed it. Like when people see like a thumbnail and it's small, you don't really register there's the 5th leg on the moose. But I changed the thumbnail out of it. Oh, it would have been a good thumbnail if the moose didn't have a 5th leg, but and no, we're not being rude. An actual leg. Alright. So she's taking forever, of course. I don't know if we're gonna get much info out of this one. Oh, There's some deer. Let's take a look, guys. Let's take a look. A little better. I got a little bit more. That looks like about 10%. 2, 3, 4. More than 10%. See, I almost have to get a ruler out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A little over 10%. Maybe we can get an estimate on that. I need more, though. Not bad. It's because she was quartering away. It would have worked better, though, if it was just right broadside. It would have gotten that long. So maybe the 30-30 is the choice for this shot. It's got lots of cavity damage, but I can still account for it all, except for, of course, the overkill. Look how much cavity damage there is there. But it cannot be doing tons of overkill on it. Okay, let's just do the quick math. Okay, so see, this is kind of where it gets this rough. So this is going to be sort of the example. This is 590. The 223 put more energy into the lung and overkilled it. And we got 590 here. So even less, and it still filled it up. Okay, so that's the information I have. So we're now at 590 joules filled a lung. So if this is indeed hit points, it's less than that. Because remember this, by calculating it, you remove this section, and you remove this section, and you just leave the energy that's here to here, because the game does account for pen and cavity in between these 2 points, and that is what's in the lung. Assuming the line graph is accurate, which is all we can do. I mean, this is what will drive you crazy if you... Anyways, so in the simplest form, 590 joules into that left lung. And this is where it gets a little difficult, where the math starts breaking down when you start doing other shots. Because say I had 490 here, and then somehow I had 490 in this other lung. This lung, like this bar would be, even though it's like the same joules, like not in this example, but like in like a different one. The other, like the right lung health bar will fill up less, even though it's the same joules. That's where the math doesn't work. But, you know, that could be a bug, because sometimes the math does work, and it's this simple. But I've had it too many times where it didn't, so, but it could be a bug why it's not working sometimes. So now we have 590. So basically, I have to keep doing this until I get a shot failure on the first lung and see if it's below 590. So maybe we'll do that. We can also take a quick look, because this one's easy to calculate, because it's simply, since the bullet stays in there, it is simply, it's 100 joules right on. Yeah, so we're going to see it break down right now, because if you look at where this is, if you just kind of eyeball it, I mean, if this is 1/9, because it looks like it's bigger than 1/10 of a bar, so that's like 2 right here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's just eyeballing it. So it's over 10%. But even, yeah, so even if we said this was 20%, like increased it, we would just times it by 5. Well, because that would kind of work, but that's if I increased it to 20%. Okay, well, let's not increase it. Let's say that's, because my best guess there, well, let's, well, if it's 10%, the entire bar is 1,000 joules, which the math doesn't work then. Right? And then if it's 20%, well, then the bar is 500, right? Yes. So this is in between 10% and 20%, so it's in between 1,000 and 500. Doesn't really help. But it's closer to like the 10. Yeah, see, it's too hard to like guesstimate off of that and to try and get numbers on that. Yeah, because if it was 10%, the bar would be 1,000, which doesn't work. If it was 20%, it would be 500, which could work, but it looks less than 20% to me. If it's in the middle of 15%, then it's 750, which kind of works, but it looks even less than 15%. So then it'd be like 800 joules, which doesn't match this over here. And this is where it breaks down, like the math. It's when you have the two lungs and they're hitting at different points. And that's why I can't figure out the health bars of the lungs. So let's try. I mean, the first one's easy enough. Now, in all reality, we sort of just need to figure out the first one, because who really cares about the second one? Like, if you're just hitting the first one. So maybe if we simplify it even further, and just focus on figuring out the joules on this and ignore the second. The reason why I'm using the second is because you get a benchmark, or you get a standard to go by, and then you can test your math against each. But I can never get them to work. Well, sometimes they work right and sometimes they don't. But if I ignore the second lung and we just do math on the first one, maybe we can make some progress there. So let's see. The problem is the health bars can, like, for all I know, these little health bars change depending on what gun you're using, right? Because I was using the 223, now I'm using the 3030. But we just don't know. But anyway, so I'm going off just the basic info we can have. Let's do one more shot. Yeah, the video definitely is not short now. I'm going to try and not take out the moose in one shot with the 3030. I know it kind of sounds ridiculous. I'm gonna try and not take him out in one shot in the 3030. I kind of want to hit another cow because I want to. Okay, we're gonna have to find another cow. Or, you know what? Here, I'll show you this real quick. I got this liquid fire here as a little tip. Let's create two more cows here. Okay, so let's go back here. And we're gonna, I have no idea. Remember I did videos all about creating a calendar and things like that? Well, I don't keep track of days anymore. Because we'll see if this works here. Because I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the video though. If you go into like the next day, like into the early morning here, you'll get a little bit of lag when the new year rolls around. Like if the new year doesn't start, you won't get the lag. So you can always tell if it's a new year as soon as you start the sleep. So I gotta watch it real quick here. I don't know if it's gonna show. It's like the sound's delayed. You might not be able to see in the video. You might have to do it like in your own game to see it, but I just want to see here. Okay, so that was not a new year. We're just gonna go here so I can do it here. See if it even works. I only really done this once or twice. So this is a new year now. So I used to come out of the sleep thing to make sure the game worked better, but I don't think you need to do that. Not after playing with this. And like seeing the leg spike thing. Nope, that's not a new year either. But watch, now that I'm recording, it might not work. So this should be the new year one, so there should be a leg. There's the leg. There, so I was in day one, now I'm in day one again. So we're in a new year now. So if we do this, we're in day one of a new year. We're gonna go back to 9:30. So you know, I did all this stuff to track, you know, the calendar and stuff like that, where you can just watch for that leg thing now. I hope they don't fix that. The leg thing's handy because I lose track of where I am all the time. But now I know this is the first day of the year. I mean, they could just implement a simple calendar or something for us in the game, for crying out loud. But anyways, I hope it doesn't like thunder. Oh wait, we can do this. we can just fly up here. What a great testing spot. So I should have two new cows. Yeah, so there's bonus tip. That is thanks to Liquid Fire. I think a few people know that one, but he's the one that told me that. And now you still can't just age really fast by like just staying in there. You do have to play the cooldown. We have known, and we also haven't known. Just play it safe. Hunt for 15 real minutes. Stay in there for 15 real minutes, and then you can just zoom around again into the new year. So here they are. We got our brand new young cows. And oh look, see, they aged adult. Oh, but we know that guy's younger or older now. And did I only get one cow to spawn? That's interesting. Why didn't I get both of them? Interesting indeed. Oh no, there it is. There. Okay, so I don't want to get... Okay, I don't care about the double lung anymore. I should probably drop that. Maybe that's what I've been messing up with. I've been too focused on getting the 2 lungs, using them. Like, it makes sense to why you would try. Yeah. Okay, good. That did not work, but that should have lunged. Come on, switch. I don't want to chase her forever. This is her here. I'm hoping she stops in the open. Of course, I lost her. Wonder which one it is. Well, I guess if it's not this one, we'll know it's the other one. Oh yeah, the hunter sense. Hold on, I'm gonna do the shot without hunter sense. 300. Get out of the way, buddy. Oh, come on. Come on, game. Work with me for a minute. Oh, look at the recoil on that. Did he even hit her? Hey, that's something I haven't noticed till now. Oh, there she goes. She's going down. I didn't notice that till now. I don't think a gun has as much recoil as this one. Watch. We're aiming at that. Okay, I'm aimed up way up here. That's the first time I noticed that. I don't think any other one goes that high. Right? Well, of course the 30-30 is not gonna, but just for comparison. Oh no, that kicked pretty high. Was that always doing that? Why did that jump out at me? Normally, if there's like a change... Huh. I don't remember the 30-30 recoiling like that. Like, it's definitely smaller. Okay, let me know on that one too. That feels better. I have to go, we're gonna look at this and I'm gonna go to the shooting range real quick. Because I'll be able to tell if I pull the scope off with the iron sights. Because that could just be me imagining things. Maybe that was always like that. I don't remember the 30-30 going up that high on the recoil. Huh. Anyways. I definitely don't remember any of them going as high as the 375 did. I remember one time they were working on the recoil, they didn't like it, and they made a change on it, and then they quickly reverted it because everybody rebelled against it. So, maybe they're still trying to work on it and change the recoil, but they're not going to mention it this time, see if anyone notices. All I know is that recoil felt better, though. Felt a bit better. I still think the recoil should have a bit more like left to right shake instead of just like a little bit more like a little bit more vibration to it. Like I know it's mostly up or whatever, but still I think there's shows like this scope should still do a bit of a shake. All right, lots of blood here. Let's keep on track as I get distracted by ducks here. The good old wild duck. 2-star adult. Oof. Getting all excited for the ducks here. Alright, I gotta get older. There's the clan that I have to get the shotgun out for. And where'd all the blood stuff go? Wait, what happened here? Oh, she went this way. Gee, how could I not see this? Big neon line here. Like, this is even more blood than Hiker normally does. So this must be a blood splat for each hit or something. Like this is even more than normal on Hiker. I don't remember it increasing this much either. All right, are they making a lot more changes here? I've been playing Hiker a lot for science, and I've had lots of blood splats, but nothing this close together like this. Am I getting charged? Oh, I am. You little turkey. Or was that her? It must be down by now. Look at this. This is way more than normal. What is going on here? Like I've had it like go in like a circle like this before, but not so close together. Okay. I don't know. Let me know what you think about all this. I do figure they've been tweaking stuff, because remember they changed the binocular fonts and didn't say anything? I know there's other tweaks going on. Okay, here's the science, because I'm already past 40 minutes. Oh, there's the 30-30 shot. Oh, it's way weaker than I thought. That's too weak. I was quartering away, of course. Hey, the 375 lodged into the spine. So that should be an easy calculation. But then I'd have to repeat the spine shot. 1,400 joules into the spine. Did knock it out. That's a tough spine. Alright, I'm not going to do spine science, though. That seems a little difficult to me. Oh, we got an artery in the flesh. So maybe they changed that. Maybe I'm getting a blood splat for the flesh and a blood splat for the artery? Okay, focus. Focus on the math. Okay, so this is easy math too, because all you gotta do is see this. There. 214 joules, including penetration and cavity. I really do need to get a ruler if I'm going to be doing this. So how far is that? Out here. And then there. 2. 3. 4. So it's not quite 5, so it's not 25%. Darn. It's too tricky. I don't want to do 22 hundredths of the bar. I guess I'll have to do that. Right? Let me look at this. Okay, either way though, it doesn't matter what I do, the math doesn't work. Because remember, we had 590 joules take out one of the lungs. And if I'm sitting at 214 joules here, even if we round down and we use 200 joules, like 200 joules at 20%, right? That's 1,000 joules to fill the bar. If we went up to a quarter, then you're at 800 joules. So even if I'm like, give it the benefit of the doubt, and I say that's a quarter of the bar and it's not, it would only get to the 800 joules or so. Or not a quarter, 20%. Oh no, sorry. Okay, now I'm getting confused, getting tired. Yeah, 800 joules if it's 25%. So the math doesn't work out, because at 200 joules, if this is less than 590, 200 joules should be at least a third. Yeah. And this is just me looking at the one lung now. And the difference is this lung was hit way down at the bottom of the energy level. Like the bullet was traveling much slower as opposed to the faster bullet. So the faster 30-30 that hit up here made the bar, well, let's just round for easy numbers. Let's say 600 joules, even though we know it's 590. Let's just say it was 600 joules. So this one, 600 joules to knock out the lung. But down here we're at 200 joules, or just over 200 joules. It should at least fill this up a third of the way. So this is going to calculate to be closer to 1,000 joules to fill out the bar, while this one was under 600. So this is my math problem. And I'm not even looking at the second lung anymore. But in this instance, even though this is the first lung, this is being hit like it's being hit like a second lung. Which, so basically, I haven't made any progress. I'm just making the video to see if we can somehow figure out the hit points. But this is why I can't figure out the hit points, because the joules down in the bottom half fill the bar slower than joules up in the top half. So there's a non-linear thing here where it's kind of like if you're following the graph backwards, like the curve's going this way. So like this is adding damage this way, and then all of a sudden it curves up and it adds damage faster. So yeah, it's like a reverse curve what it's doing. And now I have to contemplate that. Yeah, you can just run it backwards. So little damage, little damage, little damage, little damage, a lot. Yeah, tons, a lot of damage, a lot of damage. Going up like that. The problem is there's no conversion into the damage meters, because that's the conversion I need to then work backwards to figure out the differences between the ammunition. So okay, well that'll be the video. Because I've done 3 streams kind of working on this, but the other streams, we got a little sidetracked and everything, but that is the basics of the problem. I've had a lot of people now like explaining, you know, this and this, but the line graph and the cavity does this and that does that, and this is why that, but none of it gets me any closer to figuring out why the lower joules fill up the bars slower. Well, logically, it's because the bullet's traveling slower and it's got less overall energy. But the actual translation in game, I can't figure out, and I think that is important to figure out if we're gonna get more information on the actual bullets, how they're working. I just don't see how we're gonna do it, is all. And I'm gonna keep it simple like that. I'd have to do a lot of shots, ignoring the second lung, and just doing many different shots on these moose with the same rifle. Oh no, that's too much work. And because the damage is all going to depend on the initial, like if you do the same shot over and over again, the damage is all going to depend on how far away you were in the initial starting joules. Yeah, oh boy. I'm stuck. Okay, you guys figure that out and let me know. Remember I only want the stuff that gets me closer to figuring out the the health bars of it. We got a 2-star sitting out here. I could just age again. But no, we gotta turn it off. What are we at? 50 minutes? Oh my goodness. There's my short video for the day. So anyways, take care guys. Have fun hunting. And see you in the next one.